Hey guys, Link there of Time 550, and so today I'm bringing you another epic episode of the Milk Podcast. Welcome to Year 7, everybody. I gotta say, this one's pretty awesome. So I'm going to be doing a Majora's Mask speedrun up until Milk, and I'm going to be explaining what I'm doing in the speedrun here, as well as when we have some downtime, I'm going to be stating some awesome Milk facts for you guys. Now, to preface this, I first off just want to start by saying I'm actually going to be following the current speedrun rules, which completely negates the entire, not the first cycle, but like all of the cutscenes at the beginning and all of the stupid, all that, basically. So we're just going to skip right ahead, straight into the gameplay where you're Deku Link in Clocktown. So we're still going to be doing first cycle, just not the very, very beginning with all the cutscenes. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoy. I did some interesting tricks, sometimes even some old ones. I'm sure there are like faster ways that I could have done this for sure, using like arbitrary code execution and SRM and all that fun jazz, but I decided to keep it traditional. I'm using some older tricks, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let's get into some Milk facts here while we got some downtime, because everybody knows first cycle. I mean, you get the fairy, you go to the Great Fairy, give it to her to get magic, and then you just wait, basically, because you can just do a gainer to get up there early, instead of having to do the whole moons to your side quest and all that fun jazz. So, anyways, on to the Milk facts, the reason why all of you are here, of course. So, believe it or not, actually milk is mostly comprised of water. Therefore, it's actually an insanely good hydration drink. I mean, aside from all the delicious minerals and everything in there, I mean, it really will hydrate you, truly. Milk is an extremely good source of calcium and vitamin D, as I'm sure you know, as well as protein and amino acids. Fact for the lactose intolerant people out there, lactose is actually a natural sugar that provides sweetness and energy. However, normally most people are lactose intolerant now, but if you're not actually, you have a genetic mutation, believe it or not. If you can still drink milk now, your cells never basically gave you the cutoff to say, hey, you're old enough, you don't need to drink any milk anymore. You know, you can survive without it. But, like I said, if you're able to drink milk, then that means you actually have a mutation, and it is for the better, because then you can eat your ice cream, have your cheese, have your milk, have a good old time. Now, one thing I will also say, you're going to see me backwalking a lot in this too, as well as spinning a lot. It is the fastest movement in this game and most 3D Zelda games, honestly. But I would say Deku Link, honestly, is a lot faster. He's probably the fastest form of movement that we're going to really have in this, other than like super slides and stuff like that, so. Anyways, milk also is a great source of electrolytes, such as sodium, potassium, and magnesium, which will help maintain your fluid balance and also keep you even more hydrated. I mean, aside from just it being comprised of water, it also has electrolytes too. I mean, that's Gatorade's whole selling point, is that it has electrolytes, you know? Milk is also an insanely good recovery drink. I mean, I know we've talked about chocolate milk being really good before, but just normal milk has so much protein, carbohydrates, and electrolytes, it's really good for a post-workout drink. Now, I want to say really quick, back to Majora's Mask, what I'm doing here is I'm actually skipping time. Believe it or not, this is actually the fastest way to skip time in the first cycle, is going to talk to Andrew's grandma, and having her read the story until morning, because instead of just talking to the Scarecrow where it just does half-day increments, that'll do it until the complete next day. So you can do that to get to the final day, and then we're going to talk to the Scarecrow to go increment it to the final night, basically. Anyways, though, back to these awesome milk facts. The average cow actually produces about 10 gallons of milk per day nowadays, which is insane. I mean, 10 gallons, dude. Milk tends to have a shelf life of about 10 days in the refrigerator, believe it or not. Milk is also a good source of vitamin A as well. Not just vitamin D like you may think, it also has A, it has riboflavin in it, calcium, of course, like I said. milk is also a healthy source of niacin as well. So whenever you need niacin in you, just go and get yourself some milk. Alright, real quick trick I just did there. Basically, if you backwalk in the corner at a diagonal angle against that guard, then you can actually just walk on right past him. And now what I'm doing here is I'm going to be grinding for a bunch of money, because later on we will be needing some more money. So I do a glitch, because either way we'd be waiting here until midnight anyways, so I figure why not make it a little more useful, and do like the speedruns do, and just escape out to Termina Field early, grab a bunch of money from all these bushes and everything, and just go. Now, the interesting thing about if you go during first cycle into Terminal Field is there's actually no treasure chest or enemies at all. Even a lot of the actors are unloaded. There are still some actors, obviously, like the bushes and grottos and all that, and trees. But there's no enemies or chests or anything like that. So unfortunately, I can't just go open a couple 20 rupee chests and boom, be done. I actually don't even think there's the 20 rupee on top of the little stone towers over here. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Alrighty, so we got 99 rupees now, so our wallet is completely full. I gotta say, the RNG I got there was actually pretty dang good. Because, I mean, it's just about to turn 10 o'clock and we only have to make it to about midnight. So, honestly, pretty good timing, I'd say. Pretty fairly decent RNG. Alright, back to some milk facts here. Believe it or not, in ancient Russia, a lot of people believed that putting a frog in your milk would prevent it from going sour. Obviously, we all figured out now that that doesn't really work, actually, sadly. But, I mean, you know, hey, they did. Drinking whole milk over low-fat milk actually helps avoid you gaining weight. Believe it or not, even though it seems counterintuitive, it's believed that whole milk is less likely to make us fat due to the bioactive substances in it, which alter our metabolism to burn more fat. So, there you go. Alright, so the trick I'm doing here that I'm failing constantly is called a gainer, and basically it's when you backflip and then let go of Z-targeting mid-backflip, and then you can move Link in a different direction. And it gives him just enough height and a good angle, just enough for Deku Link to grab onto that ledge. Like I said, then that way we don't have to do the whole Bomber's Notebook quest, to find out the code, to get into the secret layer that Jim is blocking, and then go get the Moon's Tear, which we then trade the Business Scrub for the town title deed, and he gives up his flower, so now we can get on here. Instead of having to do all that, we can simply just do a backflip, basically. So, saves a pretty good amount of time, I'd say. And also, especially with all the time skipping that we did, you know, I'd say it's a win. Alright. Fun fact, actually, about Majora's Mask Sky, as you can see, there are a ton of stars in the sky here. Believe it or not, it's actually based on the name of your file. So as you saw, we named the file Milko, and apparently there's a ton of stars in the sky for that. I don't know the exact map of how it works and how it calculates it, but it's purely dependent on your file name. And depending on every file name that you have, it might be different. Now, there are constellations in the sky, such as the Big Dipper and Orion. Those ones I know for sure you can see from Romani Ranch, which you will be going to later. But, yeah, so those are always constant. The constellations will always be there. However, there are going to be different stars in your sky depending on what you made the file name. Alright, back to some awesome milk facts here. Milk can actually be made into a bioplastic. It is insoluble in water and almost impossible for it to catch fire. This is thanks to the interaction of casein, which is contained in milk and formaldehyde. Apparently in Pennsylvania, be careful about using your milk crates for anything other than milk, because using them for something else is considered unauthorized use, and punishments could include a $300 fine or even spending up to 90 days in jail. So if you live in Pennsylvania, please do not use your milk crates for anything other than milk. Believe it or not, milk was actually considered the food of gods in ancient cultures. According to the Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, and Indians, they all looked at milk as food from the gods, and it was kept extremely highly valued. Also, probably due to the fact that, it doesn't last very long, too. Now, believe it or not, milk is the official state beverage in 21 states. States anywhere from New York to Oregon have chosen milk as their official state beverage. Believe it or not. Did you know milk is one of the most nutritionally dense foods on the entire planet here? Simply due to all of its vitamins, minerals, calcium, vitamin A, D, niacin, basically its entire good gut health. Everything about milk, basically just good for you, not to mention the protein too. And vitamin B12, not to mention. I apologize, I forgot about that. Now, believe it or not, over 98% of all dairy farms in the US are actually family farms. So if you're buying milk, it's almost certain that you're putting $1 back into the national economy. That was weird. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyways. As you may already know, vitamin D is very good for growing big, strong bones, and it is one of the best vitamins that you can have in order to keep your body strong and your mind strong. Did you know dairy can actually help release energy from foods and reduce tiredness? Therefore, if you eat anything dairy or drink anything dairy, honestly, you're kind of just giving yourself a, what's it called? Like a nutrient up stat boost on yourself. You know, think about life as a roguelike, you know. You get yourself a little milk potion, drink it, boom, all your stats go up. And like I said earlier, milk is also incredibly good for your brain and helping develop a child's brain, or at least giving nutrients to support a growing child's brain. Now, I know this might be fairly common, but actually most dairy cows are Holsteins, which have the black and white spots. Just like the cow in the corner of the screen here, it's the most generic dairy cow. Cows actually have a really strong sense of smell, and they can smell up to 6 miles away. Now, I thought it might be fun here. Let's do some Zelda milk facts now. So, this one's pretty much a given, but in both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, Link can get, as long as he has an empty bottle, Link can get free milk from cows by playing Epona's song. That way, instead of having to purchase it from a store or the milk bar for 20 rupees, instead you can just get it straight for free from the cows. Another thing that you can do with milk is, once again I'm sure you know, in both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, you can drink it twice. You don't just get one potion of milk. You know, you don't just like drink it and boom, you're done. You actually get two for the price of one, they say. And also, you restore 5 hearts in just 1/2 glass of milk in this game. So, overall, milk can heal up to 10 hearts in this game. Pretty good considering it could be free as long as you find a cow. Also, fun fact, if you look on the left side of the screen here, that little wooden arch in Majora's Mask here, I believe it's if you play the Song of Storms, I want to say, or put a bomb there. I don't remember. It's either Song of Storms or a bomb. I apologize. But there's a whole grassy field down there in a grotto with a bunch of a couple cows in it, and there you go. It's probably one of the closest and easiest cow spots to get to in the game. Like I said, I believe it's a bomb, but I could be wrong. It could be the Song of Storms that you have to play in order to get that. Alright guys, so now we're a human again. We finally finished first cycle. Now we can get into the actual speed run now. The first part is basically just getting to this point. So now we're finally up and running, and now we can finally get going. So now typically in normal gameplay, you just go straight out there to determine a field and go to the swamp. But we're actually going to take a slight detour. So first thing, I'm going to slow down the time here just because we do have a lot to do to get to our milk bottle. And we have to do it all basically before the first day, before 2:30 a.m. So first thing I'm going to be doing here is just getting some more money. Even though we did get 99 rupees before, and that is pretty good, I just wanted to be a little safe here and get some more money. I know this is probably slow. I probably could, get away with just the money that I had, but still, why not? Have a little extra. So there's actually a 100 rupee chest here in Clocktown, and it respawns every single 3-day cycle. So if you need to make money fast, do that. And also, inside the bomber's hideout area that Jim is blocking, normally you always take a right, and you use the Deku Mask to hop across to the different platforms. If you actually go left, you do have to swim there, but if you go left, there's actually a bombable wall at the very end. Well, you can climb up and there's a bombable wall. And if you use the blast mask or bombs to blow it up, there's actually another 100 rupee chest there. So therefore, one good way to grind for money is go to the bomber's secret lair area, go bomb that wall, get 100, and then go to get the 100 rupee chest that I just got, and boom, 200 rupees. And it only takes you like a couple minutes. You can just rinse and repeat as many times as you like to get the 200, 500, and 1,000 rupee upgrades in the bank. So as you can see there, we just got our first bomb bag, and we bought some bomb shoes as well. And like I said, I probably would have been fine with just that. I probably would have been able to get away with it. However, I did want to get a little bit extra here, just in case. So we are withdrawing 90 out of our 99 rupees that were in the bank in order to buy some more bomb shoes, just to play it safe. Now technically the bomb shoes are optional, although they make hovering a lot easier and faster instead of waiting for bombs. And also, like I said, just honestly easier in general, just to hover with. Alright, so now that we got all of our prerequisites out of the way in Clocktown, like I said earlier, we're going to be putting on the Deku Mask here and spinning a bunch because it is one of the faster ways of movement here. Now, unfortunately, we do have to take it off here just so we can get through the guard and all that. And actually, believe it or not, in this part, I actually was going to do the cutscene skip right before the Southern Swamp and all that. Unfortunately, I realized you do need a bottle to do it, and if I'm already getting a bottle, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of doing the speedrun to the milk bottle, I mean, either way, I'd still have to go to Romani Ranch, but it's sort of like, I'll just not skip it, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, as you heard when we went under the wooden arch, like I was saying right there, if you bomb that, I believe there are cows underneath that you can get some milk with. Like I said, I did want to skip this cutscene, but unfortunately, sadly, you do need a bottle for it, and the whole point of this whole speedrun is to get to a bottle as fast as possible, basically. So, Yeah. Now, there is actually a milk bar in this game, which I'm sure all of you know, but it's in Clocktown, right next to the Stockpot Inn. Um, and basically, you can buy just normal milk from it for 20 rupees or Chateau Romani, which gives you infinite magic. I believe, I want to say it's until the end of the 3-day cycle, or at least until the day is over, at least. I don't recall exactly, but it's really good for, like, especially for the very last dungeon boss. You get a mask that uses a bunch of magic, and so having that really helps a lot. You don't have to get any magic, especially sometimes. I mean, the boss just runs away from you. You can't hit its weak spot, and so it's a lot easier just to have infinite magic compared to trying to keep grinding for magic in the boss. Um, in the milk bar, also to get in, after I believe it is, I think it's after 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. I'm not exactly sure. You have to wear the Romani mask, which is basically just a little cow head that you put on top of your head. And it's your proof of membership, and it allows you to go in there and get the adult drinks like Chateau Romani, which gives you the infinite magic temporarily. And like I said, backwalking is one of the fastest movements in this game, especially as Deku Link, so that's why we're just backwalking here across this big distance. And we are about to be coming up on our very first big trick of the speedrun. Like I said, this one's a little bit of an older one. There is a way to do this with bombs, but I wanted to save my bombs. So instead of going past that big octo on the right there, we're actually going to go to the other big octo. And basically, it's going to allow us to get to the Deku Palace early, way earlier than planned. Because normally you'd have to go over there where this dock leads to go save the old lady in the woods. You tell her that her sister fell down in the woods, and then she gives you a bottle with a red potion in it. You're supposed to give it to her. And now we could do that, but like I said, we'd still need to get milk from somewhere. So unfortunately, I still believe the fastest milk bottle is in Romani Patch. Alright, so first things first, we gotta kill this guy here, just because otherwise he will become incredibly annoying and even ruin our glitch later that we're about to do. So carefully hop over to this lily pad, turn around, take the mask off, put it back on, C up, and then hold forward, and now we're able to move in first person. I apologize about the screen shakiness, there's not much I can do on that. But so what you're going to see me do is I'm going to turn around and look where that lily pad was to make sure that it respawns. And now I'm just trying to get a good angle. You side hop onto it while Z targeting. Side hop over here. And with any luck. Yep. Now believe it or not, I actually technically failed that, because you're just supposed to hop from lily pad to lily pad and get sucked in by him. But the first big octo did get despawned because I made it through the loading trigger, so thankfully it still basically skipped the big octo either way. So there we go. We're into the Deku Palace early. We don't have to worry about any of the long boat ride or saving the witches or whatever. We're just in here, boom, bam, bop. And then this leads us into our next big trick, which is basically going to skip all of Deku Palace and the whole magic beans and second floor and all that fun jazz. Instead, all we gotta do, come over here to the left side. And now we do have to stealth our way through this a little bit, so I apologize. Now I wanted to play it safe here. I mean, I probably could have gone at some point here, but I wanted to play it safe and just really carefully sneak past these guys. There's the first card. Now we can just squeeze on through here. And now, to do this glitch, all we gotta do, stand a little bit in front of the door frame as Child Link, and then backflip up on top. You don't even have to use a single bomb or anything. Once again, completely skips the whole need for bombs in this part. A long time ago, you used to just bomb hover up in the next room, but like I said, this skips us having to use bombs, and honestly, it's so much easier. You don't have to worry about weird angles and all that. And So there we go. Just jump off the ledge and jump slash. Or you can even just grab onto the ledge. I found out after filming this, sadly. But yeah. And just carefully navigate around that guy. And there you go. We just skipped all of Deku Palace and the need for the magic beans and, like I said, the whole upper section and all that. Just boom, easy. We're right there now. Now, unfortunately, I did think that I could make that, but I did it just a little bit too early, so I had to replant myself. And now this gives us access to the Sonata of Awakening, which we do need, because we do need to go into the Forest Temple very shortly. And that's the only way to get into the Forest Temples. We're playing the Sonata. So, that's the next song we're going to learn. I almost said trick for some reason. Let's do some more Majora's, or Zelda Milk Facts, I guess I should say. Fairly obvious fact here, but in Ocarina of Time, you get milk from Lon Lon Ranch, but in this game it's actually called Romani Ranch instead. Although it uses basically all the same characters. They just needed to call it something different. However, Lon Lon milk in Ocarina of Time is only 10 rupees, whereas Romani milk actually costs 20 rupees. So... Now, in Twilight Princess, actually, there is a form of milk in that game. However, it's actually produced from goats, and it's called Ordon goat milk. And just like in Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask, you can drink it twice, except instead of 5 hearts, it actually only recovers 3 hearts each time, sadly. So you only get a total of 6 hearts with the Ordon goat milk, as opposed to actual cow milk from this game. And in The Link Between Worlds, there's also a milk bar in Kakariko Village, and it sells you milk for 20 rupees, and it will restore 5 hearts. Although, unfortunately, to my knowledge, I think you can only drink the milk once in that game, sadly. And now, in Breath of the Wild, you can actually get little milk bottles. And if you just simply put it into a cooking pot, you can actually make cooked milk. Now, unfortunately, in this part, these stupid little dragonfly guys totally owned me. Just time and time again. I kept trying to get around them, and they just kept destroying me over and over again. And I just shot an angry snot bubble at them. Here's a little bit of Link Between Worlds trivia for you guys. In the milk that you can get in that game, from the milk bar in Kakariko Village, it actually, in the description for the milk, it actually states that it comes straight from Lon Lon Ranch, even though there is no Lon Lon Ranch in A Link Between Worlds. So, pretty interesting little thing there. Now, as I said earlier, cows can produce up to even 10 gallons every day. Although the average is more like 6 to 8 gallons a day, they can produce up to 10 gallons a day. And for about 6.5 gallons of milk, that's over 100 glasses of milk. Enough to give 33 children about 3 glasses each of milk, which is crazy. I know I've stated this in other earlier milk podcasts, but actually, believe it or not, you could actually survive for an incredibly long time on just milk itself. I don't recommend it. I do not endorse doing that. However, it is possible. If you're ever in a life or death situation and your only food/drink around you was milk, you could actually last at least up to, I believe it was 2 to 3 weeks off of just milk itself. Because as I mentioned, it gives great hydration as well as having plenty of vitamins and minerals. You might be a little bit malnourished due to all of the other vitamins and minerals that you're missing out on from other foods and proteins and stuff. However, it'll at least be enough to keep you alive. So if you're ever in a life or death situation and all you have is milk, you might actually be okay. maybe a little malnourished, but you know what? Aren't we all? Alrighty. So here we go. Now we're at the entrance of the Forest Temple, and all we gotta do is play Sonata of Awakening here. And now, like I said, we need one thing from here. The whole point of going here, instead of just going straight to Romani Ranch, unfortunately, is that we have to get the bow and arrow in order to do the whole alien side quest thing. I don't believe you can kill them with your sword or anything like that. I think you have to use a bow and arrow. Also, not to mention, I think it's just simply easier as well, so... yeah, so unfortunately we do actually have to stop, make a quick pit stop here into the Forest Temple, and just do that. Alright, now that we made it to Woodfall Temple here, there's a little quick speed strat down here. I kind of failed because of these stupid little puffball guys, but you can actually backflip right up onto this tree here. Like I said, the game unfortunately kept trying to Z-target that guy who's hiding in the corner, so had to kill him first. But here we go, just hop up on there. It's slightly faster than using the Deku flowers, although I think I just wasted time there, honestly. But typically, as long as they don't screw you up, it would be faster. I don't know what that was that just fell, but you know. No, I was thinking about it. I could have actually hovered from one of these platforms up to the higher level. However, I decided not to, just due to the fact that, once again, I want to conserve my bombs for later. I think it would have been faster though, and maybe even if I ever do the smoke speedrun again, perhaps there are a few things I could improve upon. But either way, all we got to do is get that key there. And now, I won't lie, like an idiot, I completely forgot to get a stick right before entering this door. Completely idiot move of me. It wasn't until I got right here that I realized, oh wait, I don't have any sticks, and I realized I have to go back. There's a bunch of small mistakes in this speedrun that I'm sure I probably could have saved a good, maybe even up to 5-10 minutes had I actually done things right, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. Now, another thing I do want to mention is I'm actually playing this on 2-Ship 2 Harkinian, which is the Majora's Mask official PC port. I mean, there are 2 Majora's Mask PC ports, but... well, not unofficial Majora's Mask PC port, I should say. Once again, like an idiot, completely forgot I had to actually push this block first. Don't know why I didn't do that, but whatever. But yeah, so if you notice that the game looks really good, clear, smooth, it's because I am playing on the PC port. However, I was using the official Nintendo Switch Online controller, so it did feel as if I was playing the real game. Not an actual 64, I guess I should say. Now, of course, Link has to show off here with these cool flips. You know, show him who's boss and everything. I actually forgot that for the next room you need a stick. I put my stick away just in case I needed one again. Forgot literally the first room after I need the stick, so it's a good thing that I didn't screw myself there. And actually, as you noticed, when I rolled into this, one of the little puffball guys, I got a little bit of recoil. I didn't take any damage, thankfully, but I did get a little bit of recoil. Alrighty, now onto this room here. Unfortunately, you guys are about to see me get wrecked really, really hard again, so just prepare yourselves. I almost thought I was about to fall down that hole. But yeah, so here we go. All I gotta do is make it across this gap here. However, these 2 dragonflies had other plans for me. And there we go. Thankfully, it didn't fall in the hole, because that probably I would have quit the run, honestly. I would have restarted. That would have been the run killer. Now, at least we was able to kill one of them with the spit bubble there, so that helps. Now, I did kill him, but unfortunately went backwards. So, sadly enough, I do have to go back up one last time. But now the threats are gone, and that is the last time I get purely owned in this run, thankfully. And don't you worry, guys, we are almost at the bow. Like I said, that's the only reason why we had to come here, unfortunately, was just to get the bow, and that was it. Now, believe it or not, in the staircase that we're about to come down here, you can actually do a boss key skip. If you climb on top of the one pole on the left there, I believe, as Zora Link, and use some kind of bomb boost or bomb recoil. I'm not exactly sure of the details, but you can actually just boost straight into the boss room if you angle everything just right. I think you might have to bomb hover out of bounds too, but either way, that's how you skip basically all the dungeon. Alright, now also a little fun fact. This guy actually, normally he takes several hits from your little tiny Kokiri sword in this game, but you can actually kill him in one jump slash from a Deku stage. I just missed a bunch of times, but typically you could just kill him in one jump slash, and that would be it. Alrighty guys, and with that, now we have the dungeon item, the bow and arrow. So, now this completes our prerequisites for getting the actual, the milk from Romani Ranch. So, now all we gotta do is go there and get it, basically. Now, I think another thing I could have saved some time on is had I not slowed down time, or had I just done this at night instead. I was just more worried that I wouldn't have enough time. But, you know, it is what it is. So here I am unslowing down time, just due to the fact that I figured I would, you know, waste a little bit of time on the way there. And I probably should have also played the song a double time here, like I said, that way I just spend some time to get there, but you know, it is what it is. Not that big of a deal. So now, like I said, our final mission is to just make it to Romani Ranch. Now you might be saying, oh, wouldn't you need a Goron mask and powder kegs? But no, actually, there's some incredibly easy glitches that just let us skip all that, so. Alrighty, so like I said, there is actually a way to skip this without needing the Goron mask and or the powder keg. Simply with bombs and bomb chews. And a sword. And I guess a shield too. So, all you gotta do is get ISG here by crouch stabbing and then interacting with something like talking to somebody or picking something up or reading a sign. I'm just gonna angle myself here. And then by backflipping, pulling out a bomb chew and shielding immediately, it actually allows us to hover up into the air while you have ISG. And now it's funny, because the one bomb chew actually almost tried to hit the boulders like I ran. And now just as a safety here, I used a couple bombs at the end, just because the last one hit the wall. I believe on the Japanese version, if you're fast enough, it does actually let you do it against bomb chew hover against walls. You just have to be very quick and careful. Alright, now that we're up here, all we gotta do is just jump over, and either jump slash or do a roll jump, and boom, there you go. Romani Ranch early. Alrighty guys, now all we gotta do is wait till 2:30 and that's it. back to some milk facts while we wait here. U.S. dairy farms actually produce roughly 21 billion gallons of milk every single year. All 50 states in the U.S. actually have dairy farms. Dairy farmers are actually paid by the hundredweight, 100 pounds, and not by the gallon. They're approximately 8.6 pounds of milk per gallon. 99% of all U.S. households purchase milk. The average American consumes 25 gallons of milk every year. About 72% of the calcium in the U.S. food supply actually comes from dairy foods. To get as much calcium that you'd have in a single 8-ounce glass of milk, you'd have to eat 7 oranges or 6 slices of wheat bread. Fresh milk will actually stay fresher longer if you add a pinch of salt to each quart, which is actually pretty crazy. If you want to make your milk last longer, just add a pinch of salt. I guess if you buy it by the gallon, do 4 pinches, but still. That is for fresh milk, though. I'm not sure how that would work from milk from the grocery store, but, whatever. Did you know that almost a thousand years ago, people actually began developing specific breeds of cattle just for milk production for human consumption? Pretty neat, I say. Now, this one isn't exactly milk related, but every single year, U.S. dairy farmers produce 1 billion pounds of butter, 7 billion pounds of cheese, and 1 billion gallons of ice cream. And the average American consumes 24 pounds of ice cream a year. Another fun fact about milk here, there's actually several different flavors of milk that companies are producing around seasonal times of the year. So, of course, as you know, there's eggnog, which, um, I know it's technically not like milk related, but still. That's not exactly what I'm talking about, though. Around St. Patrick's Day, they actually release a green milk that is usually some kind of like either mint or like vanilla y sort of flavored milk. Um, they recently released this Moana milk that was strawberry banana flavored milk. It was pretty good. Um, I want to say, was it around Christmas? They had some kind of like spiced milk or something. It was pretty good. But yeah, definitely check around in different grocery stores. There's all kinds of different flavors of milk, of course, other than just the normal chocolate, strawberry, or normal, uh, just plain milk. But yeah, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for different flavors of milk. There's actually, as you know, Nesquik is a very good milk additive. Um, I recently tried there was a cinnamon churro flavored Nesquik that came out, and that was pretty good. It tasted similar to the milk left over after cinnamon toast crunch, although a little bit different, a little bit more cinnamony. But I thought it was pretty dang good myself. So yeah. All right. So as you can see, we're starting to get pretty close now to 2:30 a.m., and that is when they will be coming. And now their goal is to steal the cows for their own evil deeds and doings. And unfortunately, uh, if you fail this side quest, then they actually steal the little girl Romani, and she is returned, but then she doesn't really know what's going on. She's very incoherent and doesn't really seem like she knows what she's doing. So definitely very important to not fail this. Also, not to mention it screws over a couple other side quests in the game, such as the whole one with Cremia and assisting her. But yeah, so like I just showed there, there's Orion, and I believe that's a Big Dipper. There are different constellations in this game, like I said earlier. I know for sure you can see those two from Romani Ranch, because as a kid I would always walk around here waiting for the aliens and just look around and just admire the night sky and everything. So yeah, you can also see the Woodfall Mountain over there. Not where I'm looking now, but over on the other, yeah, over there. You can see Woodfall Mountain, and believe it or not, in the game's beta files, the purple volcano mountain looking thing was actually supposed to be replaced with a nice green lush mountain after you cleared out Woodfall and got rid of all the poisonous swamp water and all that that was coming all from the top of the mountain, which is where Woodfall Temple is. It was supposed to turn into a nice lush green mountain, but unfortunately, for one reason or another, they cut it. Now, one thing I always wondered about this is there's that orange ball, but where's that like weird crystal there? I don't know. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments below. I don't know if that's supposed to be like their spaceship or what, but I figured the orange ball was supposed to be their spaceship. I don't know. Either way, so now all we gotta do, like I said, is protect this barn right next to us here from all the aliens. And I realized also, usually by this point in the game, I always have had the map bought from Tingle for Romani Ranch. So this was actually kind of weird not seeing. Normally they show up as little white dots on the map. And you can easily track where all of them are, so needless to say, I was a little bit nervous. Also, I could not hit that alien for the life of me, so I just decided to say screw it. I'll save him for a minute. In a minute. And now right here, they actually got fairly close. I was getting really worried, but everything turned out okay. Don't worry. Otherwise, you would not be watching this right now. That guy especially, he got really close. Thankfully, though, he dropped a bundle of 20 arrows. I believe it's 20 arrows. So that filled us right back up to 30. Full quiver back again. And now, I believe it's either... I think it's 5:30 after last until, I want to say. It's not super long, but it's long enough that it definitely provides a good challenge. I mean, as a kid, I very much struggled with this a lot. But, yeah. As you can see, it's starting to get brighter out. That's our sign. We're almost there. Just gotta survive a little bit longer. It's about to hit 5 a.m. We're almost there. I think as a kid, this guy was the one that always got me, because I never knew there was one that would go behind the barns. So there were a lot of times where I'd like think I 100% perfectly protected the barn, and then all of a sudden the cutscene would play of me failing, and I was like, what? Yeah, it was strictly just due to the fact that I didn't know there was one coming up from the back. But yeah, so as you saw, we just made it, we survived. I'm sorry, I believe it's 5:15 actually. But yeah, so there we go. That's technically time. I know in the other one it was until after I drank the milk, but, you know, if you want to retime it, feel free. Like I said, I might even retry a better speedrun at some other point of this. Because it was a fun one. There were some cool tricks, and I learned some new tricks along the way. And so, yeah, so we did it. While I drink the milk here in celebration, I just wanted to say thank you guys all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this year's Milk podcast. More of a milk speedrun, I suppose, but hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, you guys have a wonderful milky day, and have a good one. Bye-bye.